I've been taking blue purple to league night for the last 3 weeks in a row, and I went 8-1. That's right. Our undefeated streak ends today. We tried fighting it out to make the clickbait of this video. I went 9-0 at league, but it's too good to be true. We went 8-1 at league. The reign of Blurple ends right here. But I'll tell you all the things that went wrong and show you the cards that I switched up this week. You can watch our other Blurple videos on our channel. So last week I talked about how I put in these Ursulas, like this is the 2-cost Ursula, and then it can shift in this big old Ursula, but it never ended up working. So I took those out this week. I also had this Elsa, and I had this Elsa because there's lots of Elsas in here, and all of them can be a pretty good shift target for the big 8-cost Elsa, but we'll talk about that. And then these are the cards that I took out the week before that. So there's a whole like Blurple thing going on this YouTube channel. So please hit the subscription button if you like talking about Disney and Lorcana. So starting off this week, we put in 3 McDuck Manors, the on-lore game. And this is the card that actually ended up costing us the win and making us go 8-1. And it wasn't my McDuck Manor, it was Sean's McDuck Manor. Sean played 2 McDuck Manors against me and I couldn't keep up. There was nothing I could do to get rid of those silly little mansions where the ducks live. And then our other tech cards that we put in was 2 Let It Goes, which I ended up not using at all. I don't think that this build needs the Let It Goes. Like, yeah, it might be good for like late game, but ended up not using those at all. Those always went into the inkwell. Like, I held on to them for a long time. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get you. I'm going to remove your Maui shark or something. Turns out I would just use a Hades or bounce it back with a snake anyways. So Let It Go. Kind of regret putting them in. And then the other one tech card that we put in that was our flex spot was a Belle. So you can see the 6 different cards. I took out the Elsas, 2 Ursulas, and then the other 2 Ursulas. I took out those and put in these 6. These are our tech cards that we went for this week, and it cost us the clickbait title, but that's all right, fam. So that's what we got going on. We got 4 copies of Belle, went to the 4 copies, was running her at 3 copies, and honestly, the 3 copies might feel a little bit better because I really miss the White Rose. This on-play lore effect, I think, is super valuable. The White Rose is like a Merlin goat, but for 1 cost cheaper. So kind of prefer the White Rose over one of these Belles. Just my opinion. To get the Bells out earlier, though, we have 4 Popsicles. This is a 1-cost item. When you play it, you get to draw a card. And then Belle, she's so silly that she can shift into this Belle. This Belle is a Floodborn Belle, the accomplished mystic, and she can move damage characters from chosen character to another opposing character. So the wombo combo that I did with this is I took out some other cards. Namely, I took out my opponent's White Rose. I was playing against Colin and he was playing a red purple burn list, and I wanted to take out his White Rose, and the way that I did that was I had the Elsa, I had this Elsa attack a genie twice, so it had 4 damage on it, and then I used this Belle to move 3 damage off of this Elsa onto their White Rose. And then the next turn I was able to take out, or like, yeah, I took out their genie, and then I was able to move the damage to the White Rose and clear their board. So that's what I did there. The Elsa, super good. So that's kind of our Belle package and our flex spots. Moving on to the rest of the deck, we got 4 Tipos. Kind of hate the 4 Tipos. Kind of would much rather play 4 Sail the Azurite Sea. So we got 4 Tipo, 3 Sail the Azurite Seas. I'll stick with what I'm saying about Sail the Azurite Sea. It's way better, especially in these like decks where you have a whole bunch of 1-cost cards, like I have this in Chernobog. Like, I'd much rather be able to use the ink that I'm inking extra to be able to play a card. Like, yeah, it has to be an inkable card, and Tipo's like good if you have some uninkable cards in your hand, but like this list runs a pretty low uninkable count. So I think Tipo, I think one of them should go. I think I should put in another Sail Azurite Sea. Your goal kind of is to mulligan for your ramp. You need your ramp. There was one game against Sean that I ultimately lost that I used 2 Sail Azurite Seas in 1 turn. So I was able to go from 3 ink to 6 ink in 1 turn because I could ink for turn and ink 2 extra for Sail Azurite Sea. So I had 3. I went to 6 ink, and that was a good deal for sure. I think that's one of the best ramping things that you should do on turn 3 is play 2 of these cards and then get up to that 6 ink. So then you can play like your 7-cost card the next turn. Like, you can play your Hades the next turn. The Cusco, I kept wanting to draw, but then like there was never like a use case for it. It's got the, when you play this character, you put chosen item or location into its player's inkwell face down exert. I wasn't playing against too many locations today. They're out there though. Don't get me wrong. So like he's welcome in this deck list for sure. And then we got our star of the show, our big baddie, Hades, Infernal Schemer. This is a legendary from the first chapter, and it's got the when you play this character, you may put chosen opposing character into their player's inkwell face down. The bad thing about playing this is that if you're playing against a red-blue list, which is what we ultimately ended up losing to, is that they want more ink in their inkwell to be able to do more things faster. So I helped them out, and I kind of played against myself, but it was my only way to remove their Maui half sharks. So I'm glad Hades is here. Lots of the time I would try to ramp as fast as I could to get Hades. Even if you get him in your opening hand, it's not like a dead draw. You're just like, oh, I'm going to get up to 7 and then I'm going to remove one of their cards. I even used Hades to do some damage to people. I faced against Marissa and she had one of those challenger decks, and then Hades was able to take out a Calhoun because Calhoun has the resist 1, so I had to be able to do 3 damage to it, and Hades was able to do that for me. My favorite thing is when I get 9 ink is to have a Hades on board, bounce it with a snake for cost 2, and then play the other 7 ink for another Hades. So there was lots of times against Marissa, sorry Marissa, that I was able to play Hades like 4 times in a game, and then it just kind of goes off the rails at that point if you're able to play Hades multiple times. Doesn't matter if he's gone because I'm just gonna draw another one. There was lots of times where I just top deck a Hades and then stuff would start rolling from there. We got 3 snakes to be able to get back our Hades into our hand. We got 2 magic brooms, and all right, turn 1. I actually used one of these magic brooms against Marissa today because she put out the Mulan. That's a 2/1, and then I actually attacked into it with this magic broom. That's a 1/2 because like I only had to do 1 damage to it and I wasn't losing out on too much by sacrificing a broom to get rid of one of their characters. If you know what I'm saying, we got 2 Merlin rabbits and 2 genie wish fulfilled. These are kind of our main draw engine that with friends on the other side, but this is like where our draw comes in. On turn 4, we really got to think about, are we ramping more or are we drawing some cards? And lots of times we're drawing some cards. Journal Box Follower is another card that can let you draw some cards, but you got a quest and then boom, you can get a card. 4 Journal Box Followers. We got 4 Merlin Goats. Probably just should have played more Merlin Goats in that last match against Sean. And then maybe I would have not been defeated, because Merlin Goat gets lore when you play him and then they be prepared, and then you still get a lore if they be prepared. But it's really hard to compete against those full build red-blue lists. Like they're out there, they're winning the tournaments, and Blurple's out here trying to do similar things, honestly, with the blue and the T-pose and stuff. Like it's doing the heart and soul of it, and then it's just doing other stuff too by playing the purple. And then we got 2 Merlin crabs. Sean almost talked me into switching up the Chernobygs in magic broom ratios to go to more crabs and more Diablos. The Diablo, that's a 1 cost 0/1, where if it's banished, it gets to draw a card. And I almost believe him that that'd be a smooth move. The Merlin Crab, super good. Sometimes I put it out just to sing Friends on the Other Side. Merlin Crab is a 3 cost. He can sing 3 cost songs, but the ultimate like turn 2 is to have a Belle out on turn 1 that you played from a popsicle, play Belle, and then boom, you get to sing Friends on the Other Side and draw just infinite amount of cards. Not only do you get a draw from the popsicle, you get 2 more from singing Friends on the Other Side, but we only ran 2 copies of Friends on the Other Side. You can see from my changing up here deck that I actually took out 2 Friends on the Other Side because it ended up being ink. But this time, when there's only 2 of them, my brain says, hold up, you gotta use these. You can't just ink these. So that's what I end up doing with the Friends on the Other Side. I end up using it if there's only 2 of it. If there's 4 of them, I just always ink them. I'm like, I'm going to get another one. That's the wrong mindset. I don't know. That's just how it works with me. Madam and Fox, we got 3. Oh, we got 4 of those things. I think every Blurple video I made, I'd be like, I got 3 Madam and Fox. Always 4 Madam and Fox. Always super good. Another way to cycle back your Hades back into your hand. If you have 10 ink, which is not unlikely in this deck, you're going to get up there. Then you can play it Madam and Fox, get back a Hades, play your Hades, all for 10 ink right there. Madam and Fox, super good. We got the Elsa. This Elsa takes out Flynn's like nobody's business. Colin was playing Flynn Rider enemy, and then we just play an Elsa, and then we take out that Flynn Rider enemy. Don't even have to worry if they got a big old body on board, because Elsa's just going to take them out. And then we got the big old shift Elsa. This one, like, gets you a turn. it can like wait, and then it's also like a surprise little 2 more lore. Like if they don't know that you're about to shift and then you get 2 more lore, this one only quests for 1. And then if you shift, this one quests for 3, that's major numbers. And then we got 3, the library. The library did not do as much work today as it has in the past, but library, underrated location. If you're playing Amethyst, you probably should be having a library or 2 in your list, but that's just my opinion. So where did we go wrong today? Everything was cooking. We were 8-0, and then we played our championship match. Do I have my little lore book here? Oh no, I just kicked over a box of sleeves. To the lore book we go. This is where we write down our totals of our games. Here it is. This is the one against Sean. He had 2 McDucks. And you can see his lore gain didn't really do anything. And then it was just McDuck after McDuck after McDuck after McDuck after McDuck. And then he played Pirate's Life at the end. And then he just closed out the game. But there's no way I could keep up with the McDucks. On this first game, I got all the way to 7 lore. And then he just chee-hooed. Same way with this. I got up to 9 lore. So 2 more lore than the last game. Did pretty good than that. But I got 2-0'd with my good old faithful Blurple. Does that mean that it's time for me to finally buy the Tamatoa Happy as a Clam and join the blue, red, or blue steel family? Misa thinks so. Thanks for watching. If you want to watch me mulligan this list, you can watch one of those 2 other videos where I talk about my blurple strategies, and you can see me draw a couple of starting hands and see what I'd mulligan. I'm not going to do it here because people always seem to click off when I do that. Thanks for watching. Please smash the subscribe button.